What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzly home of Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today, we are on episode 2 of Should the Memphis Grizzlies Draft? And today, we are talking about Darryn Peterson from Kansas University, who is the consensus number 2 pick in the 2026 draft. Most people have him going to Utah at 2. But today we are going to talk about should the Memphis Grizzlies draft, pass, or laugh at Darryn Peterson trying to get in Beale Street blue. Let's talk about it.
Wait, I did come in for the 808. 808. Big man in the paint, iTalkHoops. Lay up, free throw and swoosh. Throw and swoosh.
Darryn Peterson is a shooting guard from the University of Kansas. He is one of the most hyped recruits to come through high school basketball in years. A player scouts were calling generational before he ever played a college game. They were saying he was the best guard prospect in recent prep history. He played at Prolific Prep in California, the same program that produces elite talent year after year. And when he got to Kansas, despite missing 11 games, he showed exactly what the hype was about. He is a scorer, an elite scorer, the kind of player who can get his shot off from anywhere on the floor against any type of defense. And he does it at a size that the modern NBA is built around. In college, he averaged 20.2 points per game on 43.8% from the field and 38% from three. His box plus minus was 12.4. Offensive, it was 8.4. Defensive, it was 4.0. And here is the important context. He missed 11 games this season, dealing with cramping issues, a hamstring issue, and some illness. But when he played, he was elite. Scouts who have watched him closely since he was in high school say he was one of the most talented players in this entire draft class. You have to remember that 12.4 box plus minus is the highest ever recorded by a true freshman at guard. At the combine, he measures 6'4.5" in bare feet, so that means he is a 6'6" guard. Weighed 198 pounds. His wingspan came in at almost 6'10". He is the prototypical size for an NBA shooting guard. Now, he says that he is a point guard. That would make him jumbo size. There is a medical concern. His cramping was cleared up by him before the combine. They said it was caused by excessive creatine supplementation, not structural, not chronic. He took too much creatine, didn't hydrate enough, and his body cramped up. That's it. So supposedly the medical is clean. Now, every mock draft has him either going 1 or 2. So why should we even consider if Memphis should draft him? Well, there is a scenario where A.J. Debinset goes number 1 to the Washington Wizards and the Utah Jazz take Cameron Boozer at 2. You have to remember, Carlos Boozer, Cameron's father, is a Utah Jazz scout and 5-time All-Star. He is beloved in that organization. Danny Ainge runs the front office, so we cannot dismiss the fact that they take the most decorated high school basketball player in history, Cameron Boozer, and draft him at 2. And you might say, well, they have already Walker Kessler and Jaren Jackson in the front court. But those guys are not long-term solutions to what can be played with Keontae George and Ace Bailey. They have a lead guard, a wing player. They need a long-term interior force. And that's where Cameron Boozer can come in. So what does he do well? What does Peterson do? Shot creation. Peterson is the best shot creator in this draft class, point blank, period. He can manufacture a clean look against any defender in almost any situation, off screens, off the dribble, off the catch, in isolation, in pick and roll. His shot creation toolkit is one of the most diverse for any guard that is a teenager. He does not need a perfect play call. He does not need space handed to him. He creates space for himself through footwork, hesitation, and an elite crossover that defenders simply cannot stay in front of. Second, shooting. He shot 38.2% from three on real attempts at Kansas. He was a high-volume shooter. His movement shooting, catching, and firing off screens, off relocations, off transition is described by scouts as historic for a freshman guard. Now, before he had the injuries, his shooting was even more elite. And three, we have the size and athleticism. 6'6" in shoes with a 6'10" wingspan is ideal size for a shooting guard and elite size for a point guard. He can guard twos, threes, and ones. He can finish above the rim. He can play over smaller defenders. His length and athleticism give him a defensive ceiling that his measurements truly support. And then we can talk about being competitive. If you go back to his high school years, he matched up with all the top prospects and came out on top each and every time. Scouts who have seen him at his best describe him as one of those players who makes the game look unfair when everything is clicking. He even was getting comps to the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant, the Black Mamba himself. Now, we always have to mention the concerns. The number one concern with Peterson is health. He missed 11 games this season. Yes, the cramping was caused by creatine. Yes, the doctors have cleared him, but 11 games missed out of 35 is 11 games missed. For a player being considered as a franchise cornerstone, that absence rate is legitimately concerning, especially for Memphis fans who have dealt with so many injuries over the last 3 seasons. If he passes the doctor's muster, especially the Memphis Grizzlies doctor's muster, over the combine and when he comes in for individual work, I say he is clear. Concern number 2, playmaking. Some scouts question whether Peterson is a true lead guard or an elite scorer who plays off others. His assist numbers were not just modest at Kansas, they were downright pathetic. His playmaking under pressure when teams sold out to take away his shooting was inconsistent. Memphis needs a lead guard who can run an offense and create for himself and create for his teammates. If Peterson is more of a scorer than a creator, the post-Josh solution might not be as clean as it looks on paper. And then we go back to his weight. At 198.8 pounds, Peterson is light for a shooting guard. But we have to remember, he's a teenager. He might get muscled a little bit initially, but he has the frame and the size that is going to develop strength and bulk later on. Now, let's talk about the Memphis fit. This is where it gets really interesting. If Peterson falls to Memphis at 3, the Rosh division changes completely compared to the Boozer scenario. With Boozer, your starting 5 is Jerome, Coward, Gigi Jackson, Boozer, and Edey, a physical, skilled front court built around 2 bigs. With Peterson, your starting 5 is Peterson, Coward, Gigi Jackson, Aldama, and Edey. Peterson becomes a lead guard and the offensive engine of the entire rebuild. He is the post-shot answer at the guard position. He runs the offense. He creates shots for Coward and G.G. Jackson. He and Edey run the most dangerous pick and roll in the Western Conference, and Peterson's shot creation pulling the defense out of the position while Edey rolls to the rim with a 7'5" and a 7'10" wingspan would be hard to stop. The Memphis fit for Peterson is different than the Boozer fit, but it is just as exciting. While Boozer gives Memphis a physical, skilled front court identity, Peterson gives Memphis a long, athletic backcourt identity. The defensive picture with Peterson and Cedric Coward on the perimeter and Zach Edey as a backstop can be devastating, and it is the thing that modern championship teams are built on. It all depends on Peterson being able to playmake. Now, who does he compare to? Darryn Peterson plays very similar to Devin Booker. Booker came out of Kentucky as a score-first shooting guard who could get his shot from anywhere on the floor. People question whether he could be a playmaker or not. That's kind of why he fell in the draft. But he has developed himself to where he has been the point guard for the Phoenix Suns at times. Now, Peterson has the same stylistic DNA coming into the NBA as Booker. The pull-up jumper from anywhere, the ability to create separation off the dribble against any coverage, the smooth mid-range game that makes defenders helpless, and the deep three that keeps defensive honest. Booker is 6'6" in shoes. Peterson is 6'6" in shoes. The wingspans are similar. The physical profile is very similar. The scoring style is almost identical. Now, will Peterson reach Booker's level where Booker was a near MVP candidate in the league and led his team to the NBA Finals? Well, you can never predict something that high for any player coming into the league. So what's the verdict, Memphis Grizzlies fans? Should the Memphis Grizzlies draft Darryn Peterson? The answer is yes. They should draft him. If he falls to number 3, Zach Kleiman should put on a jetpack and bum rush Adam Silver at the podium. Now, I expected him to be gone by the time the Grizzlies pick, but nothing is certain in this draft. If Debansa goes number 1 and Boozer goes number 2, Darryn Peterson could be sitting right there for the Memphis Grizzlies to pluck out of Kansas and be the new face of the Grizzlies franchise, full stop. The health is a question, and I'm sure the health will have most Grizzlies fans terrified for the next year or two. The playmaking question is real, but the talent is undeniable. The worst case scenario with Peterson is the Grizzlies give him all season to play the point guard, and it does not work out. And then next season, they can come to grips with that and get a point guard or a combo guard to play beside him and slide Cedric Coward to the small forward position. That is the downside. So, should the Memphis Grizzlies draft Darryn Peterson? I said yes, but what do you say? Do you think he is a better fit in Memphis than Cameron Boozer? Do you think it would be a gift if he was somehow available at number 3? Or do you think the Memphis Grizzlies should go in another direction, even if Darryn Peterson is staring them in the face at number 3? Let me know in the comment section. Subscribe, because this series is going to keeping on. And I talk hoops. We'll see you in the next one.
I did coming for the 808. Big man in the paint, I talk hoops.